Hey, guys. I am coming on today to talk about the exciting No Carb Life podcast that I just did this morning with Dave Mack, and it was it was it was interesting. It was interesting. It was actually a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed talking with him. He's a great guy. He's got a great podcast going for carnivores, people who, come on and just talk about their experience. It's just everyday people like you and me coming in and talking about what's going on in their carnivore change, the things that have happened. And it was kind of a crowning moment in my view. Like, it was a crowning moment. Not that I did a great job, right? That's not at all where I'm going. A crowning moment of stepping out of my ego and getting up into spreading out this herpes thing and going carnivore and working on getting rid of the shame that comes along with doing doing the carnivore diet, which so far for most people that I know that I've been talking with has really helped with their herpes outbreaks, and not only with their herpes outbreaks themselves, like them disappearing or greatly reducing, but also with how people feel about their herpes diagnosis. Like, it is not a big deal, you guys. Herpes is as common or nearly as common as any other virus. I mean, I just want to say like a common cold. I mean, nearly everybody has one form or another of herpes in their system. And the carnivore diet, for me, completely saved me. Just, I stopped getting outbreaks. I stopped having all the other health issues that I had as well, including Hashimoto's. It's gone. My weight gain is gone. I lost all the extra weight that I had put on. There's no, menopausal symptoms, none of that. But most importantly, I no longer get any kind of outbreaks. And I am vibrantly healthy now, 3 years in, vibrantly healthy. And I'm nearly 4 years carnivore. So I say 3 years, I haven't gotten any outbreaks because in the first 6 months, because it usually takes a little while. Hello, Cat. Cat Crest. It usually takes a little while for your body to find its healing, for your immune system to build up and become vitally powerful again, and going out and taking care of the things that it needs to be taken care of, like outbreaks, right? So when you have, when you get highly stressed, you get a dip in your immunity, and the herpes virus gets a chance to come out and party on your body. And when you go carnivore, these things just come into place, and it doesn't happen anymore. After years and years of not being able to go out in the sun, not being able to, do all the basic things that that normal people do. I can get stressed now. I can have a stressful day, and I will not get an outbreak. I can be around sick people 24/7, and I don't get sick. So if I'm not getting sick, I'm also not getting outbreaks. So you guys, you can see that when you get yourself back into that vibrantly healthy place, you don't get outbreaks anymore. And let me talk a little bit about, which I did mention in the podcast here. Thank you, dear. What I mentioned in the podcast was talking about the shame that is wrapped up in this whole herpes thing, right? And herpes meaning there are 8 different types, 8 different kinds. You've got your basic cold sore, like we say in the United States, I got a cold sore. You haven't got a cold sore, you've got herpes or genital herpes. That's the one that if you say herpes, everybody thinks of the genital kind of herpes. Or you get shingles on your body. Well, shingles are herpes. It's all herpes, you guys. It's only in the United States, from what I understand, that they call it something else. So if you're coming to the whole herpes idea thinking it's only genital herpes, that's the problem. It's not. This herpes virus, these 8 different types that have been with us they've actually been around for over 200 million years. Can you believe that? This is one of those viruses that has traveled with us for millennia. Millennia. And we have always had herpes, whether in cold sores, whether it's chicken pox or, the shingles thing, whether genital herpes or herpetic whitlow, where you get them on your fingers or your toes. You can get herpes on your face up here. It's insane. There's 8 different types. So the herpes virus has been with us forever, before we were even humans. They were in the chimpanzees and other primates and just kept passing through and passing along until here we are today. It's just that today we like to latch on a ton of shame along with a herpes diagnosis. So if you get a cold sore, or okay, that's no big deal. Really shame, and how do you blame, right? Who do you blame? My name is Vida. Yep. And so if you're out blaming people, you don't even know if it was your partner that gave you the herpes. Your partner may have herpes, but you actually don't know if they're the ones that gave it to you. And you can get a herpes outbreak even if a sexual partner does not have an outbreak, a cold sore, or genital herpes outbreak. You can pass it along asymptomatically. Did you guys know that? So what the heck is all of this shame coming from? You can never really truly know where you've gotten your outbreaks from. And like if y'all had chicken pox when you were a kid, like I did, that's where the shingles, the herpes zoster, comes into play, and it gets reactivated later on in life. Hey, Sniper Jordan. Yeah, the interview, we already did it. It will be live tomorrow. So tomorrow night probably for me. So either tomorrow or the next day, on Wednesday, I will put it up on the channel here so you guys can all watch it. Me blabbing along about the herpes thing. Really tried to emphasize that there should be no shame at all with any kind of herpes diagnosis. And there are ways to find healing with a herpes diagnosis. And just because you have a herpes diagnosis doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It really doesn't. And I want people to understand that. So uh, I'm the one speaking out here. I'm going to be speaking out and talking on this channel and on my TikTok, Vida Goes Carnivore, and also on Instagram. Although, okay. Anyways, I'm not such a big Instagrammy person, but there as well. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Facebook. I have my basic Facebook profile, which is just Vida Evenson. You can go there and get in the Got Herpes Eat Meat private group. I've got there on Facebook. We also have a group in Discord under the same name. So you can come along either place and talk to me about what's going on. If you want to try the carnivore diet to see if it will indeed help you as well reestablish your immunity so that your body is able to handle this herpes virus thing. So it's only the end of the world if you have the type we had. Thankfully, it's over now. Yeah, it can be the end of the world feeling. I get that. I really do. I really do. But even so, there should be no shame around it. And there's got to be a way to really ease people's minds about the prevalence of herpes in any form, but also especially because that seems to be the most tender spot, both emotionally and physically, for the herpes virus to come out, in the genital area. So yeah. Thankfully it's over. And thankfully it's over for me as well. It has been over. I'm almost 4 years carnivore, you guys. And what can I say? It's not just that I don't get any herpes outbreaks ever. Even when I kind of, go off and try a few other things, like I actually don't get outbreaks. I don't even get the feeling that an outbreak could be happening at all. So I think my body is really, really pulling back together. And it's not only the herpes thing, you guys. It's like I don't have the Hashimoto's. I just meant the frequency for us rather than it being genital. Yeah, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the frequency. I don't have a frequency anymore. And can I brag? Can I brag and just put it out there and say, it's like I have beat this thing. It's no longer a part of my thinking. So the coolest thing, Sniper Jordan, like this was the coolest thing because I had spent my actual first real big outbreak was when I was 34 years old. I'm 60 now. Like a really big one, huge, the whole bottom lip that swelled up and was actually touching underneath my nose when I would lie down at night. That's how big it was. And it happened in the States when I was in San Diego at the time. And this huge outbreak. So, and then when I was 44, 45, I started getting that continual outbreaks that just came up until I was 56. So until 56 when I went carnivore. And after the first 6 months when I kept getting some outbreaks, yeah, that's it. No more. No more. And I'm almost like my body, you have like this body language that works on remembering, right? You have a memory and your body clamps up, just because it has this residual memory. And yeah, if I start itching somewhere, immediately I'm like, oh, is it a herpes outbreak? It never is. It's usually a bite or something like that. But I haven't had an outbreak, like back then. Oh my God, it's just crazy. So I am actually leaving that space now after 4 years of being carnivore and 3.5 of those years of no outbreaks. Once or twice, I did get a couple of things when I went off the carnivore diet. And I started to get I could tell that something was happening. Usually here, my lip would swell up. Back in the old classic place when I was a kid, right back here. But the rest of my body was fine. So this happened. And it never actually became an outbreak, but now I can slip off the wagon, the carnivore wagon, and kind of just eat a little bit once in a while, and I just know that I'm fine. And does it make me want to eat more? No, it doesn't. In fact, the foods that I used to love, I don't love anymore. It doesn't fulfill me. Like if I eat zucchini, and here's my zucchini sliced, cooked in tallow and butter with heavy cream and salt on top. I used to love that. I used to eat tons of that. And now I eat it if I do make it, and it's like, yeah, where's my steak? It's like, yeah, I think I need some eggs. So I'm always focused on the carnivore lifestyle. I don't really need other foods once in a while. Like I said, I do. I enjoy it. But what I enjoy the most is being herpes free. I enjoy the most not getting outbreaks, not even little ones. That's what I enjoy. So, what do you think? I mean, would you go back to eating a regular diet if you could always be healthy? When I eat these other little things, like maybe I'll have some yogurt with, some berries or a quarter of an apple cut up really tiny in it. If I have that, it's the apple, it's not the yogurt, it's the apple, because I don't have a problem with dairy. And I live in Europe, so our dairy is much better than the dairy in the States. But my, that little bit of immediately, I don't sleep as well. I start not peeing like I'm 20 years old. You guys all remember, if any of you are young, you know what it's like to just the urine comes out in one straight flow. It's beautiful. Just it's perfect. But when you get older, you have this little bloot. You're like dribbling. It doesn't quite come out, and like a little bit comes out and then it stops, and then a little bit comes out and it stops. It's really annoying. But going carnivore, oddly enough, and I don't know why this happens, but oddly enough, I went back to peeing like I'm 20. Like a full flow, start to finish, no stops. Why? And you think, big deal, right? Who cares? So what? I mean, you're actually going to count that as a health benefit? But yes, I do, because when you are minimal, like you're carnivore, you're carnivore and you're not eating a lot of different foods, you can tell immediately the changes that happen in your body. So if I eat a little quarter of an apple, like an apple slice, and cut it up and put it in my yogurt, with nothing else, you guys. I mean, I'm not talking about granola on top and, big teaspoon of honey in there. No, just the yogurt with this little bit of apple, because now that I'm carnivore, I can't eat honey anymore. It's way too sweet. But anyways, when you add just this little tiny slice of apple, for example, your body reacts immediately. It's like having a clean room, like a perfectly clean room with maybe just a chair and a table in it and, I don't know, a bookshelf. And you eat a little slice of apple and it's like throwing garbage in the middle of the room. Well, when you walk into that room, you're going to notice that garbage right away. It's going to stand out like, boom, this is big. That's what it's like when you go carnivore. You have a very, very clean system. You're working beautifully. So when you disrupt your food intake and you're taking things and eating things that aren't primed for your body, you're going to notice it right away. And, these are some of the things that I talked about on this podcast. So, talking about the herpes virus and how ancient it is and that it has been with us forever, which I find fascinating. It's not a new thing. We've always had it, which pretty much means that, 7 to 9 people out of 10 have one form of herpes or another. I think it's pretty safe to say that, generally speaking, we've all got one form of herpes or another. And that's important. That's important. It's important for the idea of shame that comes along with having the herpes virus, especially genital herpes, because you think that because you were a kid and you had a cold sore or a fever blister and it's herpes. You can call it whatever you want, but it's herpes. It's HSV1. So even if you don't have an outbreak, you can transfer it sexually, oral sex, right, to your partner, even if you have no outbreaks, even if you think you've never had an outbreak. And that's where the shame needs to be lifted in understanding how prevalent this virus is. And, that pretty much everybody's got it. Most people do. And if you're one of those that just doesn't have it, okay, you're one of the few. You're one of the few, and literally the few. So even so, there should be no shame involved. You think that's what happened to you, Jordan? Yeah. So it's really interesting how we go off on it. I think, especially in the United States, for some reason, and probably in Britain as well, I think there's a very big, what's the word I'm looking for? It's Puritan. This Puritan idea, like there's something wrong with you, especially if you have HSV2. And let's just be clear about that. HSV2, genital herpes, you can also get on your face, and you think it's just a cold sore. But do you really know? And the point that I'm trying to shout out into the world is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is knowing, that you have whatever types of herpes are coming out and letting the stigma go. Well said, Jordan, Sniper Jordan, stigma, that's right. That idea that there's something wrong with you, you have to let that go because, statistically, which means logically, 6 out of 10 people diagnosed with genital herpes. That's a lot of people. And you know what? If you add those that don't know what they have, that they have it, if they've ever had it, they've always thought they've had some kind of ingrown hair, that they get once in a while, just a little tiny thing, no real outbreaks, not like what we had or me. I know not many of you have had those types of outbreaks, and I don't wish those types of outbreaks on my worst enemy, which I don't think I have an enemy, but as the saying goes, like I don't wish it on anybody, anyone. I don't wish it on anyone. So I don't know, tomorrow this podcast will go live. It was my very, very first podcast episode. I hopefully was clear enough. I was trying so hard to get all the information out there. I don't know that I did that. I hopefully will be talking again. I would gladly speak out, especially in support of all of you guys who are with me on this carnivore herpes journey or ketovore herpes journey. Low carb, let's tell it for what it is. It's a low carb diet, herpes journey. I mean, finding healing because we can, in fact, seriously support ourselves, our bodies, through our nutrition. I mean, what you put in your mouth does affect what happens in your body. Let's not be confused about that. And also, let's not have this idea that the carnivore diet or the ketogenic diet is something that's a new fad diet. It is not. It is our lifestyle, our diet up until about 100 some years ago when they decided to mess everything up. And processed foods came in and they started feeding us seed oils, thinking that, telling us that it was safe and safer. No. We are here today because we have all been on a carnivore diet, a ketogenic diet, basically meaning we eat meats, we eat animals. Yes, we are out there, we hunters and gatherers, and we were out hunting animals, gathering, the fruits and the things in that were available at the time during that season. And believe me, it probably wasn't very much out there. Most of our existence is on eating animals. So please do not think this is a fad diet, that this is something new that came up. This is a re-emergence of finding our health, of being vitally healthy. Do you guys know what that means? To be vitally healthy, to wake up every day excited with energy, to hold your energy throughout the day, to be able to move freely, get your body, no matter what age you're at, to be able to move freely and to really help heal what's going on. Because when you are supporting your immunity, your whole metabolic system, when you're supporting that and giving your body the foods that it needs and staying away from sugar in any form. I'm not saying don't ever eat sugar like fruit. I'm not saying that, but just keep it minimum. And if you've got a health issue, get rid of all the sugars. Get rid of the carbohydrates for 3 months. It's not going to kill you. Just see what happens, because there is quite a bit of healing that takes place with very serious problems, very serious. And herpes is not a serious issue. It's an uncomfortable issue. It's a shame issue. It's an I'm embarrassed issue. It's how do you tell the other person that you've got herpes as if it's, oh my God, as if it's this huge thing. I am not saying that we don't be careful with our partners, that we don't disclose and tell them and keep things honest and open. But God, get rid of the shame. And if you've got a partner who is shaming you because of that, well, that's a pretty good clue that perhaps your partner isn't up to par, should not be in your life, should not be there, because anybody with half a brain is going to say, yeah, I get that. I understand that. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Because there's a lot you can do. One is you can go ahead and take all the medications and do that kind of thing. And, I did that for a long time. Didn't really do very much, but I did it, right, in hopes of minimizing my outbreaks. Or you can alter your diet, try a few things. I mean, if you don't really believe in the carnivore thing or the ketogenic thing, try something else, but try things and be in contact with people. Talk to them. Like, I have people who are with me, young people. You know how young people are. And they're like, oh, but, I don't want to, cut out all these beautiful foods and all this fun stuff that I get to eat and drink and things like that. I get that. And I've got this great young man who, I get it. He's in his 20s, you guys. Of course you're going to go out with your friends. Of course you're going to, drink. And of course you're going to eat chips and the other various types of of foods that you shouldn't be eating if you want to cure yourself from the herpes outbreaks. But you know what? Now he's coming back and he's like, okay, I'm basically animal-based now. And animal-based is what? You're eating mostly meats and you're adding low glycemic fruits. And yeah, absolutely. And it's like, go for it. And if you're still having outbreaks, if you're still having a hard time with it, then yeah, get rid of the low glycemic fruits. It doesn't mean that you're going to get rid of them forever. Because I can now eat low glycemic fruits and nothing happens. I don't have a problem. If I go in and eat every day low glycemic fruits like zucchini, like even sweet potatoes or watermelon, right? Or berries. If I were eating them every day, yeah, maybe my body would begin to get out of this state that I'm in and allow, my immune system would allow another outbreak. But I don't know, maybe not. The point is, I'm nearly 4 years carnivore and I still feel great. I feel great and I'm not going back. I don't see any reason to stop eating the way that I'm eating. It's giving me everything I need. I am balanced. I am not emotionally up and down. I don't spike and drop. And I mean, my days are filled with vitality, with health, with orexy. Orexy meaning appetite, right? For the day, for the things that I want to do. I can go out and go cold water swimming. You guys saw the video. Did you see that one, Jordan? Oh yeah, you did, I think. I mean, cold water. Me, cold water, never. I was, before carnivore, always freezing to death. I mean, literally freezing to death. I would have to pile on the clothes, and it wasn't even that cold outside. And now I just go out and I'm fine. I'm fine. I can go cold water swimming. Me, cold water swimming. No, I used to fill up the bathtub with piping hot water. Yes, I was very jealous of that private beach you had. Isn't that beach amazing? Isn't it amazing? And it's private. In the winter times, nobody ever comes. It's just me there. In the summertime, it's full of people. It's packed. I don't go swimming there in the summer, but in the wintertime when everybody leaves and the waters is kind of really settled in and start getting that icy cold, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Am I here? Ah, I would really hope. Am I still on? I'm back. I'm coming and going. I don't know. The island internet, you know how that is. Yeah. All right, you guys. Hey, Sniper Jordan, it was great to have you here. Just loved it. Love seeing you. So I will put up, or I'll do another live or something and put up the link, or put up the link in this one tomorrow if I get it in time. Okay. Otherwise, 2 days from now, and then you can all go watch me stumbling through and talking about my own carnivore journey. That was really quite interesting. Really was. Really was. I actually would like to do podcasts and talk to people, maybe some of you who have tried the carnivore diet and are working with it or working through it and just kind of getting a handle on this whole carnivore thing, because I know I'm not alone out there. I really do. I know I'm not alone. So I will see you guys all again very soon. Take care. Bye.